Today's tutorial is about cracking passwords using a tool known as John the Ripper. John the Ripper is a tool that is used in comparing user passwords with respect to their hashes. When I say hashes here, what do I mean? Let me show you an example of a hash. Now, this is a hash value that is created by an algorithm. Now, for example, if you create a password like Ninja, what the algorithm does is that the algorithm does not save this Ninja in plain text. Ninja here is in plain text. Now, what you are seeing here is called ciphertext. This is how the algorithm saves your passwords, which is a good security practice. So what John the Ripper actually does is that John the Ripper does not crack these hashes because these hashes once created are irreversible. But what John the Ripper does is that it has a database of previously used passwords which have been dumped there. And now, whenever you create a password and you want to use John the Ripper in cracking that password, what happens is that John the Ripper is going to take this hash and compare to the various passwords that are found in its database. And when it finds its match, it then stops the comparison and gives you the password which you are looking for. So without wasting much time, let us begin. So the first thing we are going to be doing is that we are going to create a user, or we are going to add a user. And to add a user, you do sudo add user. Let's call the user let me use my initial. Let me use a banner like this. I hit enter. It asks for the password. I say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and I hit enter like this. It says try again. The what it is asking for is a password of Kali Linux. Sorry, take note. It is asking for the password of Kali Linux. Kali Linux here is a previous user of this operating system, but now we want to create a new user. So I'm going to type Kali like this. It says I should create a new user. The new user now, the password, let me put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. It says retype the password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. The reason you are not seeing the password here is because whenever you want to input a password in an application, you don't see password, but what you see is a series of asterisks. I think you are not new into this one. So if I hit enter like this, it asks for the full name. I'm going to skip this information, and then it says that is the information correct? I say yes. Y for yes, and I hit enter. Now, for us to prove that we have created this user called banner, let us do so banner like this. It asks for the password. Remember that our password was 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I hit enter. Take note that we now have a new user here. Let me scroll up again to make this thing clear. The previous user was Kali, as you can see here. But now the new user here is no longer Kali, but it is Banner, as you can see here. Now that we have created this user, I am going to exit. I am going to exit this user, and we go back to Kali, and then we are going to pretend that we know this user in this organization who goes by the name Banner, but we don't know his password. So now I have exited that username, and now we are in Kali Linux like we were. So now I'm going to clear my screen like this, and then the next thing we are going to do now is that we are going to try to look for the hashes of that password belonging to Banner, or belonging to that new user which we just created. How do we do this? Now, there is a certain directory called the XC directory, etc directory. If I hit enter like this, it takes me to that directory, as you can see here, and I say, give me a list, ls for list, and I hit enter. It gives me a list of files that are found in the XC directory. Now, there is a file here known as the shadow file. This is where those hashes are hidden. So, for me to access this shadow file, I'm going to say cat shadow, like this, cat shadow, and I hit enter. It says permission denied. This is because I don't have privilege, or I don't have privileged user rights. So what do? I'm going to say sudo, and I say cat shadow, and I hit enter. Now here you can see Banner here. Look at it critically. This is banner, and this is the corresponding hash value that was created, or that was being created by that algorithm. So what I'm going to do now is that I am going to copy this hash like this. Then I am going to clear my screen once more. And then the next thing is that I will come out from this directory, the exe directory, like this. I will come out cd dot dot. I come out from this directory, and now I want to lead you to a new directory. When I lead you to this new directory, I am going to explain what I want to do here. So I'll do cd forward slash, I do user share word list, and I hit enter. It tells me that I am already in that directory. So now I want to see the list of files that are found in this directory. So I'll do ls, which stands for list, and I hit enter. It tells me that these are the directories, or these are the files that are found in this directory. Or maybe if you were in a Windows system, we are going to call it, we'll not call it directory, but we're going to call it files or folders. So now notice that we are now in this directory here. So the first thing I am going to do is I am going to save the hashes which we copied here. So for me to save these hashes, it means I'm going to create a file in this directory. For us to create that file, we'll do a sudo nano. I am going to call that file hashes.txt, and I hit enter. Now it opens. Now I am going to save that file. I paste that file here. I do a Control X to close the file, and I do a Y for yes, and I hit enter. If I want to prove that this file has been created, I just do an ls like this, and you see that we have a new file here called hashes.txt, which we just created here. Now, if we want to prove further to see what is inside this file, I do a cat hashes.txt, and I hit enter. You can now see that this is the username banner, and this is the hash value which was created. Now let me clear my screen once more. I clear my screen. I do an ls for us to see the files. Now we know that we have a file that contains the hashes here, and this file is called hashes.txt. Now the next thing I want to know is this. Remember that when I started this tutorial, I told you that there is a database. In this database, it contains files which contains previously used passwords of people. Now, this file here is called rocku.txt. So if I do cat rocku .txt and I hit enter, you can see what is happening. Those are previously created passwords in that database. So what we are going to be doing is that we are going to now take those hashes which we copied, and we are going to try to link it or to compare it with this previously used password to see if that those hashes are going to match with any of these passwords here. And if it matches, then we are going to have our password, and we can now further our attack. So I am going to stop this by doing a Control C, which stands for abort, and then I'm going to do a clear my screen like this, and then we are still in that directory. Now the next thing now we have to do now is we are going to use John the Ripper to now hack or to exploit this password. We are going to use a command line which I previously saved here. I'm going to copy it like this. I go back to the terminal where we were, this terminal here, and I'm going to paste it like this, and then I'll explain. Oh, sorry, what did I copy? Let me go back again. I come here, I copy this, Control C, or copy. Where's copy? I take copy. I come back here. I am going to remove this one, and then I'm going to paste that command line here. So I paste the command line here. Oh my God, what's happening? Okay, now let me go to my notepad and copy it. Control C. I come back here. and I paste it here. Sorry for wasting your time. And then now we can continue. Now, the first thing here is that I am going to correct this hash here. It is called hashes.txt. Let me add a T, and then I come back here and we continue. Now, sudo stands for please. I am telling Kali Linux that give me administrative rights or privileges to use John the Ripper to exploit this password. And now you can see format is equal to crypt. This format is equal to crypt. It's telling us or is specifying the hash type, the type of hash which we created. And then now you can see word list here. You can see word list here and a directory here. What is this word list telling us? The word list is pointing to the word list file, and the file name is called rocku.txt, which is the file name here, which I've basically just copied it down here. Take note, here is the directory here. This is the directory, and you can see it is the same directory here. So this is like the folder where we are carrying out our hack, or we are carrying out our hash comparison. And now the hash.txt here is these hashes here is the hashes which we copied for banner for that user. So this is the command line. And now the next thing you have to do here now is that you look critically to see if you haven't made mistakes, and then you hit an enter, and then you wait and you see what is going to happen. Look at it, my friends. Look here. This is the username here. And now here you can see the password. Remember that when I was creating the password, it was not visible, because whenever you are creating a password, the algorithm shows you, or the application does not show you plain text, but it shows a series of asterisks. That is why we can now be able to see that we have our password here. So we have cracked this password. Now we have successfully done this, meaning that if we now want to go and exploit that operating system or that user, we are just going to type his name, and then we type the password, and then we are into a system. If I teach you this and I don't teach you how to mitigate such attacks, then I am not doing justice to myself and to the public, because cybersecurity, ethical hacking, or as an ethical hacker, my job is to protect the environment, is to protect the public, and not to harm them. So, what is the first thing you must do here to prevent or to mitigate such an attack? There is what we call a sort. A sort, like this. A sort is a random value which you can create to add into that hash type. So much so that even if the algorithm, or if John the Ripper is trying to crack this password, the sort, which is a random value that has been added to that hashes, will not be able to crack it. The second thing we have to take note is that we should store hashes in a safe environment. Remember that we were able to continue with this cracking of the password because we were able to access the hashes. If we are not able to access these hashes, it means that we will not be able to hack or to crack this password. So we must store or save hashes in a private environment, and then we must change our passwords regularly, use password managers. Also make sure that avoid creating short passwords like Ninja, which you saw there, or creating passwords like 12345 6. But I propose that if you want to create a password, create a passphrase like I am going to school today, and then keep it private. So that is what I have for you today. That was a tutorial about cracking password and how to mitigate such an attack. I want to thank you for watching up to this time. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more video like this, and make sure you share. Thank you, and bye-bye.